We'll bring the palms together at the heart centre. Let the crown of the head lengthen. I actually just want to know if yoga does anything at all. You know, I mean, I see what it does in my life. I see what it does in the people that I work with and my students. And with this whole yoga movement and the breathing and connecting the body, connecting the mind, connecting the spirit, that has to have some sort of quantifiable benefit. And I want to see that. So I'm going into this study with probably more curiosity than anyone else.
So atrial fibrillation is a chaotic electrical rhythm which classically comes from the veins at the back of the upper left chamber. And because all the little heart cells are linked together, you can have one rogue focus in one of these veins and it can cause the whole heart to beat erratically and irregularly. So people classically might get short of breath or fatigued or be aware of that racing sensation to their heart. But it actually doesn't have anything to do with having a heart attack or dropping dead, so we often reassure people about those aspects. But importantly, it is associated with stroke and heart failure, so there are some very serious aspects to the condition as well.
When I was younger, I played in a lot of bands and we ended up signing a record deal and moving to Hollywood and doing the whole Hollywood lifestyle. I lived there for 6 years and the last thing on my mind was going anywhere near a yoga class. I went to this one yoga class in the middle of Hollywood and I had goosebumps all over my body. It was a Kundalini yoga class. There was this guy that walked in with a turban, this big beard, and as soon as we finished the class, I was immediately hooked.
My background in treating atrial fibrillation goes back to nearly 2005. And from around that time, this procedure's evolved where we put little wires up through the leg into the heart and then deliver these little burns around the openings of these veins to stop the fibrillation from triggering. You know, it's not without complications, it's obviously invasive. So if there's another tool outside of pills or procedures that we can offer people, then I think that's tremendous.
The idea is to really feel the heart lengthen forward, maybe even lifting the chin. I remember with Peter, his wife brought him to a yoga class, and his first yoga class, at the end he was on the mat, his mat was drenched in sweat, and he just looked at me and said, "What was that?" And so since that day we started chatting about yoga. He obviously found out what he does and we've been talking ever since then. And Peter came to me and said, "Hey, I'm doing this yoga study with AF and the heart and blood pressure and whatnot." He's like, "Do you want to be involved?" I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely, let's do it." Our arms reach forward, up and back as we inhale.
We've been very interested in behavioural or lifestyle interventions in managing atrial fibrillation for nearly 10 years. We did a lot of work looking at the effects of alcohol and coffee, and now we're thinking about different ways of exercise and specifically yoga, which not only incorporates exercise but incorporates mindfulness, flexibility, balance and breathing. So we thought by looking at yoga and its potential impact through those channels that it might give us some novel insights into how to manage atrial fibrillation.
In yoga, there is definitely positions that target certain areas of the body. You can even do things to target blood pressure or to target lower back pain, target kidneys. So with what we're doing with Peter, I'm hoping to really design these shapes in these yoga classes to target the heart and really get in there and see what this little yoga thing can do.
There have been some small trials, but nothing like the size of this and the detail of this study. So this is very much a world first in putting yoga to the test in terms of its potential effects on the heart, not only with respect to atrial fibrillation, but some of the other effects like blood pressure and heart rate. Now, people will be having a lot of testing done over that time, including imaging of their heart with echo, also the VO2 max testing. We're measuring their blood pressure and heart rate and quality of life, and measurements of anxiety and depression, just to get a global global look at the impact of yoga on the heart.
You can hold the pedals if you want to.
Part of the study is that the participants do 3 yoga classes a week, which is all funded by the study, which is incredible. So people that want to try yoga and they've got AF, they don't even have to pay for it. It just comes straight to class. Before they know it, they'll be doing handstands.